Sheila, welcome to Southside Community Services. My name's Amanda and I'm one of the caseworkers here.
Nice to meet you
too. Just before we begin, I just have to touch bases on a couple of WHS policies and procedures. So in the case of an emergency such as a fire evacuation, I'll just have to get you to exit at the front door where you entered and walk up the street here, and we have a meeting point up at Wyong Park. We have a duty of care towards all of our clients and staff, which means that if we believe that you're at risk of hurting yourself or other people, then I will have to let my supervisor know to ensure not only your safety but the workers' safety and other clients who utilise this service. Our service is confidential, meaning that anything that we discuss will be kept between you and I. I do have to write case notes, and any relevant documentation like that will be put aside into a locked cabinet or a computer database that has a password protected system on it. But as I said before, if you are at risk of hurting yourself or other people, then I will have to disclose that information, or if the files need to be subpoenaed for court, then that's my legal right to hand it over.
Yeah.
And we're also mandatory reporters, meaning that if there's someone 16 years or below that is at risk of being harmed, or we suspect they are, then I have to follow procedures, let my supervisor know, and make a mandatory report.
Yeah.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. So how can I help you today, Sheila?
So basically, I'm a supervisor at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't really like going to work that often because I fear that I'm being judged.
Yeah.
And that my colleagues are watching over me and like making sure I'm doing the job right, and it's kind of just making me a little bit anxious. I get really embarrassed and my face flushes, my heart just beats really fast, and
Okay, yeah.
my breathing gets a bit, hey, how you going?
Yeah.
Basically, I can't express myself in a clear manner to my boss. I can't talk to her about it.
Yeah.
I feel like if I do, I'm going to be judged and shown that I can't actually be a supervisor they think I can be.
Yeah.
But pretty much, yeah, it gets too much. It's too uncomfortable and I get too anxious.
Okay, so let's maybe break this down a bit.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you get a bit anxious. So you're 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so how long ago did you start working at McDonald's?
Years ago.
Years ago, yeah. So when you mentioned about the anxious, when did this anxiety kind of side of things begin to kick in?
It kind of all started when I was promoted 8 weeks ago.
Okay, so you were promoted to like a supervisor?
Yeah.
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 And that's when it began?
Yeah, because I've always just been a crew member.
Okay.
And there wasn't, you still have a job to do, but it wasn't that big of a job. And now that I'm a supervisor, I'm looking after all the crew members.
You're kind of running the show?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
You're in charge?
I'm one of the managers pretty much. And
do you find it's more the responsibility? Like you mentioned that, you still had work to do, but now you're a supervisor, you've got more work. Is it kind of like that shift in the responsibility now that you're kind of in charge and, you have that, the crew members depending on you as well?
Yeah, I think it's mostly that, just the fact that I feel like I've got a job to do, and if I don't do it properly, the whole shop depends on me, the whole restaurant. And that's a scary thing to think about.
Yeah.
It just gets way too much sometimes, and I just don't know how to deal with it. I don't have the confidence to speak to my boss or anything like that. But
So you haven't spoken to them about how you feel. How would you feel about that? Because this is obviously something that seems to be affecting you quite severely.
Yeah.
Have you been to a GP to speak about how you're feeling? And how did that go?
Well, we talked a bit about anxiety, and I got prescribed medication for anxiety.
So were you diagnosed with anxiety?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And how long have you been on the medication for?
Roughly about 2 months since I started the.
Yeah. Okay. So how how are you going with the medication? Because in some circumstances it does take up to a month or two for the medication to start kicking in. In some cases, you know, you might not get the right medication the first go, so it's all trial and error.
Yeah.
But how are you finding your medication? What's your dosage at the moment?
50 milligrams.
50 milligrams, so it's quite low. Yeah. And how are you feeling?
I feel some days it does work. Like I wake up in the morning and I'm not anxious to do anything. I can go out and walk around and do everything, and I'm absolutely fine. And there's other days I wake up and it's just like I can't get out of bed because I'm scared to stuff up.
Okay.
And the thought of that playing over my head, me stuffing up at work or me losing my job, like I can't lose my job. It's the only thing I have to
of course.
me.
Yeah.
So it's just that thought of going in there and stuffing up everything and then me getting the blame for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with your managers and stuff, are you able to go talk to them? Like, do you want to?
I am able to talk to them, but it's just the fact that I'm way too scared of get judged. Like, I'm just going to get told to suck it up and get over it, stuff like that. And I just don't want that to happen because I feel like that will make me feel more worse than I already am.
Yeah.
But I have been looking for someone to talk to. That's kind of why I came here today.
Yeah, well, I'm really happy that you've taken that first step in order to get the help and the support that you need. For me, like, I mean, looking at you and hearing about, you know, your circumstances and stuff, the way I see it is that you were obviously promoted for good reasons. You know, they obviously saw some potential in you. So yeah, like, I mean, they wouldn't have promoted you to a supervisor position if they didn't think that you could handle it.
Yeah.
Although yes, you are supervisor, you still require supervision. You know, that's just how it is. So maybe if you're totally okay with doing it, maybe speak with your managers and let them know how you are feeling, because it can be a bit of a daunting process going from being, you know, just a crew member to now a supervisor.
Yeah.
But obviously they see that you have the potential.
Yeah.
You know, you must be pretty reliable and hardworking, you know, to even be bumped up to supervisor there. So well done on that circumstance. That's a really awesome thing to hear. But yeah, I mean, maybe the first step, you know, obviously your first step is being you've gone to the GP about it.
Yeah.
You know, you're on medication. If you feel like it's working, definitely continue with it. There are other options though. If you find out that medication isn't working, you can go back and speak to them. They can either make the dosage a bit higher, or they could potentially look into changing the medication. It's all trial and error.
Yeah.
So I know that's a bit of a pain, but that's unfortunately just how it is. But on the side, you can get further support. So I'm really happy to know that you're coming today to see us and to get the support that you really need. But what I can do is I could possibly refer you on to a counsellor or a psychologist. And that way you can go speak to a psychologist further, and they can teach you techniques to use in regards to your anxiety, such as like there's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method that a lot of people use when they're anxious, and that's just based on your senses. So people look for, say, like they look for 5 things, they listen for 4 things, you know, feel 3 things, taste 2 things, and smell 1 thing. So that just kind of grounds the person and kind of brings them back in the moment, because anxiety can kind of make you, you know, you worry about everything, and it's just pretty excessive. So that might be a good start for you. But Macca's, like McDonald's, they should be pretty supportive. And maybe just try speaking to them and see how they go. You'll probably find that someone there might actually be experiencing anxiety as well, or, you know, they might have another mental illness, so you never know unless you speak up and, you know, just have a bit of a chat to them. But as I mentioned before, psychology might even be able to help you further with that.
Well, there is a downfall about all of this, which I did want to speak to you today about, which is one of the main things about it. Basically, ever since I've got the supervisor position, I have been drinking to calm and relax myself. It's basically just like half a bottle to a bottle of wine a night. I have been trying to like lower it down and stop eventually, but it's just because I get so stressed out at work and coming home and I'm automatically pouring that glass of wine and drinking it, and it's just getting out of control.
Okay. So is it just alcohol, or are you taking any illicit drugs as well?
It's just alcohol.
Just alcohol. Okay, so we can support you with that, in the sense of if that you don't have to, it might be an option. We could possibly refer you to a support group for people who, you know, take illicit drugs or drink excessive amounts of alcohol or whatever. If that's a circumstance, although like one bottle, you know, it's not as bad as people drinking, you know, X amount of bottles of beer or whatever a night. But if it's something that's obviously worrying you because it's not something you've never done before, then it might be a good option to possibly even refer you onto a service that can help you with that.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. So with the referrals, I just have to just put in some basic details about yourself, just like your name, and also reasoning behind why I'm referring you. So it'll be like, you know, if I'm referring you to a place that supports you with your mental health, I'll just mention about your anxiety and a bit about what's happening at work for you, and go from there. That's just so then we can make sure that we're referring you to the best possible service to benefit your needs, because we don't want to refer you somewhere and have it not work out for you. So with psychology, you know, it's about building that rapport with your psychologist. If it's that person's not for you or it's not working, please come back and we'll see what we can do further for you. But with the drinking, I'm sure we could possibly even refer you, even that could be something you talk about in psychology, because I know that you can talk about that sort of stuff. But if that's not helping, I could possibly refer you onto another service to get you that bit of support towards the drinking and stopping.
Well, I think I might just start with a psychologist. After that, maybe if it doesn't work, maybe coming back and seeing if there's another service that can help me out.
Okay, that sounds like a really good plan. So just seeing how that goes. Your family, do you have much support from your family? Like, do they know about how you've been feeling?
Well, not really, as I can't really speak to my mum as she's hard working. She's always at work 24/7. My dad, he's just very strict and he's a perfectionist, and I feel as if I went to him and told him what was going on, he'd turn around and be like, "Oh, just get over it." And like, because back in his day, mental illness wasn't really common back then, so now like it's just kind of, "Oh, get over it, you're just upset," all that. I have a younger brother, but he's in the military.
Okay. Do you have much contact with him?
He doesn't really talk to us since he's been in the military, so I haven't spoken to him in a couple of years. But yeah, pretty much I just don't really talk to my family that much because they're always busy, or I don't understand, or I can't get hold of them.
Would that be maybe something that you'd look into doing, is to talk about your anxiety?
Well, I'm thinking of talking to my mum, as she's exactly like me. She's always stressed out, she's anxious all the time. So I'm having a feeling of maybe calling her and just seeing what she does to get through her work with living with anxiety.
So what I can do for you is, if that's something that you don't want to do alone, you can possibly arrange it with your mum and arrange it with us, and then you can come in with your mum and we can sit here and have a bit of a chat together. You know, obviously, because I will be working with you a lot more, I'll be able to have a chat with your mum and just let her know things from obviously my perspective, from yours as well, and just have a bit of a chat, see what we can do together to help you out, because it does seem like you're dealing with this on your own, which I think might be stressing you out a bit more, because you're learning everything there is to know about, you know, anxiety and techniques and stuff to use. But yeah, like try talking to your mum on your own. If that's something you want to do. If not, definitely give me a call. We'll organise something. With work,
I think the first step would be going to go talk to the boss.
Yeah, how would you feel about
that? Anxious, but in saying what you have already told me, they're probably going to understand.
Yeah.
They're not going to yell at me, like I can't help the fact that I'm living with anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ask for it, so I feel like they will understand and they will work around it to the best possibility they can.
Yeah.
And saying, well, like you said, like they wouldn't have given me the position for no reason, so hopefully I can speak to her and just figure it all out and get back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I feel like psychology, you know, and the medication, in some circumstances, you know, they just get the person to see a psychologist.
Yeah.
Other circumstances, they'll do medication on its own or medication and psychology. So you might find that the medication and talking to someone, you know, every fortnight or once a month, you know, quite regularly will actually, you know, help.
Yeah.
Plus with psychology, you will learn techniques and have that opportunity to express how you feel as well. And yeah, they can teach you techniques, you know, they can just teach you how to deal with, how to live with it pretty much.
Yeah.
Which I think would be quite wonderful to see you, you know, progress with.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, it's quite brave of you to come here today and to talk to me about everything. It's clearly obvious that you don't want to, you know, step down from the position.
No.
You are quite capable of doing it. I think you know that too.
Yeah.
I just think it's just a matter of getting your anxiety just under control a bit, which might help you because anxiety does tend to make you stress and worry. You know, you think everyone's watching you or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and judging you, which is more than likely they're probably not.
Yeah.
You know. But that's maybe something you can talk to your manager about, even just about, you know, how you feel about the meetings and stuff, because you might even find that they will just have you attend the meeting, but they might not get you to voice up.
Yeah.
And you might be able to have a one-on-one with them and voice your opinions then in a more quieter, you know, environment that suits you better.
Yeah.
So there's probably are plenty of options. It's just a matter of taking that first step to go speak to your manager and just let them know. And I think that they'll be able to help you a lot more within the workplace.
Yeah.
Whereas I can help you a lot more with like psychology and getting, you know, your anxiety a bit more under control, as well as the drinking. So
Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I will fill out the referral forms. You've given me verbal consent to do it, so I'll just fill out the referral forms for the psychologist. Keep in contact with your GP. I think that would be a wonderful idea. Just because then also if you say you need time off because of your mental illness, or you might miss a couple of days of work or something, in some circumstances they may require a medical form. So they can give you a medical certificate, and that will just say, you know, that you do have anxiety and that you're, you know, seeing a psychologist or whatever, but they'll be able to give you a period of time that you were off. So then, you know, you're not just ringing saying, oh, hey, I'm sick, when really you're not sick. So, just so then, you know, it just kind of saves you as well. So, so I'll fill out the referral form for the psychologist. And you'll be in contact with them. Their office will give you a call. But what I'll do is I'll make another appointment with you. Are you able to come back in here again, or would you, like, how do you feel about that?
I'd actually prefer a home visit, if that's alright.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can organise that. If you don't want to come back in here, that's totally fine.
I feel more comfortable in my own environment.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you for, you know, being brave and coming in here today and coming to see me. We can definitely organise that. So what I'll do is I'll make an appointment for 2 weeks. I'll refer you to the psychologist, and we'll just take it from there. Okay, so 2 weeks, and we'll do a home visit. Okay, is there anything else that I can help you with today?
No, I think we've covered it all.
No worries at all. It was really lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming and having a chat with me.
You too.
Awesome. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Thank you.